Good evening. Let's go on the record. First, I'd ask everyone to mute themselves unless they're speaking. That'll cut down on the noise level and prevent audio feedback. If you don't have a mute button, or if you can't find it, I believe that *6 will also mute and unmute your phone if that's what you're working with. Today is May 23rd, 2023. The time is 6:15 p.m. My name is Ross Keeling. I am a regulatory law judge with the Missouri Public Service Commission, and I'll preside over this hearing. The commission has set this time for a local public hearing in case number WR 2023-0344, which is captioned as "In the matter of the application of a rate increase of Raytown Water Company." The commission has scheduled this local public hearing to give members of the public a chance to comment about Raytown Water Company's application. The Missouri Public Service Commission regulates the rates charged by public utility companies in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The commission also regulates the quality of service and safety of the operations of public utilities. Raytown Water Company is a public utility under the Missouri statutes, and as such is subject to regulation by the commission. The commission is currently made up of 4 commissioners. The commissioners are appointed by the governor to fixed terms and confirmed by the Senate. The commissioners employ a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. This evening, we're scheduled to have Commission Chairman Roop and Commissioners Coleman, Holzman, and Kolkmeyer with us. I heard Commissioner Holzman say that he's here. Are any other commissioners with us this evening? Hearing none, then I'll say that Commissioner Holzman is here, and I believe that other commissioners will join once the hearing is in progress.
And Commissioner Coleman is here.
Good evening, Commissioner Coleman. Commissioner Coleman is also with us. This is an official hearing of the Missouri Public Service Commission, and the statements and testimony of witnesses will be recorded by a court reporter and must be given under oath. Once the hearing testimony is transcribed, the commissioners will have the opportunity to read all of the witnesses' remarks. Know that the commissioners value your comments and input. At this time, would any of the commissioners like to make opening remarks?
Judges, Commissioner Holzman, I just want to thank everybody for testifying tonight. We do appreciate their comments and their feedback, and we do listen, and it does matter. And just wanted to say thank you for presiding over this hearing.
And thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Coleman, would you like to make an opening remark?
No, thank you.
Well, thank you then. Okay, there are attorneys here tonight representing the parties in this matter. For the record, would each of you identify yourselves and state which party you're representing? We'll start out with Raytown Water Company.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Neil Clevenger, company manager and president.
Chicky Clevenger Thompson, company vice president. I'm in charge of servicing and part of the field.
Thank you. Is there can the attorneys for the commission staff state what party they're representing?
Karen Bretz for commission staff.
Thank you, Ms. Bretz. Is anyone here from the Office of the Public Counsel?
Anna Martin, I'm here for the Office of the Public Counsel.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. The way this portion of the hearing should proceed tonight would be, I would call from a list of names listed on the sign-up sheet in the order they appear. And when I would call your name, you would unmute your microphone and acknowledge that you're logged on to the end of the meeting. And before you speak, I would place you under oath and ask you to state and spell your name, and then you could offer your comments to the commission. We don't have anyone signed up to testify this evening, but there are people at the hearing, And I believe it's necessary to go through this process and let those people understand what they have, what their options are. Please understand that the commissioners will not be able to answer any of your questions today because they have to remain impartial and only consider evidence presented at the evidentiary hearing for this matter, should one actually take place. The commission has not made any decisions in this case as to whether to approve Raytown Water Company's application. The commission is interested in your comments and will use them to help make their decision. Now, if you have questions after the hearing, you can use the same email address that you would use to register for this hearing, and that would be watersewercomments@psc.mo.gov for commission staff, and mopco@opc.mo.gov for the Office of the Public Counsel. And so, having no signed up, no registered people to provide testimony, I will ask if there is anyone at this hearing who would like to give their comments to the commission, provide testimony for the purpose of making a decision in this matter. Please come forward now and state your name and indicate who you are. I'll give it about 10 more seconds.
Judge, you may remind folks they need to press *6 to unmute if they're trying to unmute.
Okay, I'll remind people that if you are trying to unmute your phone, you may need to press *6 to unmute it, and then you'll be able to speak on this format, and otherwise you will need to unmute yourself in order to be heard. Okay, if there's no one else who would like to offer their testimony today, would any of the commissioners like to make any remarks? Otherwise,
I think we're good, Judge. Thank you.
okay, thank you. I'd like to thank all of our participants today for their testimony. If you do have additional comments, or if you know of someone who could not be present tonight but would like to comment, you may make written comments by contacting the same email address used to register for this hearing. And once again, watersewercomments@psc.mo.gov or mopco@opc.mo.gov, or by going to the Public Service Commission's webpage. If there are no other comments by the commissioners, this hearing is now adjourned and we are off the record.
I had something I wanted to say. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was everyone.
Okay, please, we'll go back on the record.
I
I'm
am so
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah. And
I
please,
wasn't
what would your comment be, Ms. Martin?
Not really a comment so much as a question. Something that I noticed, I just happened to look at a complaint, and one of the things that concerned me was it took when she called and had an issue where she thought that there might be a leak, it took about 3 weeks for you guys to be able to get someone out. And because you said it was because of or the complaint said that the company said that it was because of staffing issues, and I just wanted to know, are there any issues regarding staffing? Is there a way that we can assist with that, things like that? Because that was my biggest concern, was that the customers weren't getting timely service because of possible staffing issues.
Thank you very much for your comment. However, this hearing has been set aside for public comments in the matter of the application of a rate increase of Raytown Water Company. The service issues are not necessarily germane to that.
Okay, well, I was wondering, I didn't know if that was part of the rate increase was an increase to staff for allocation purposes.
Oh, I believe there was a question and answer period prior to this portion of the hearing. Did you attend that?
Yeah, and I asked if I should ask about this on beforehand or during, and they said ask during, but I didn't specify what the question was, so maybe
Okay,
that was on me.
okay. Well,
Judge,
yes.
this is Commissioner Coleman. I'd like to find out who Miss Martin is, and if she would like to go on the record, she can be sworn in and just make a comment. If and maybe someone can get back to her with the answer.
Would you like
But
to
of
do
course,
that? I'm sorry.
nobody's available, Miss Martin, to answer your question.
Thank you, Commissioner Coleman. Oh, I'm sorry.
Would you like to be sworn in and make a comment?
No, I didn't. Miss Coleman, it's Anna Martin. I'm with the Office of the Public Counsel. It was just a question about with staffing. If someone with Raytown could just send an email to me, it's anna.martin@opc.mo.gov, and get that question answered, because that was my only real concern regarding like rate increases and things like that, because I know that customer service and employees and things, that's part of the consideration with rate increases. So I wanted to make sure that that was addressed fully.
Yeah, I can do that for you, Anna. This is Chicky with the water company.
Thank you.
So do you have a comment that you'd like to make under oath?
I don't know if I need to be sworn or anything, as long as
Well,
something,
the commission can't consider any of your comments unless you're sworn. So,
right. It was more of a question.
okay. Well, if there are no further, have you asked your question?
Yes, and I should be getting into contact, or I will hopefully be getting into contact with Miss Chicky.
Thank you very much for your question. And are there any other people at this hearing who would like to make a comment regarding the matter of the application of a rate increase of Raytown Water Company? Okay, hearing none, this hearing is now adjourned and we'll go off the record, and I'd like to thank everybody for your attendance. And thank you very much, Commissioner Coleman and Commissioner Holzman, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.